Hey everybody, welcome to Landscape Rescue. My name's Stuart. Today we're going to be planting some New Guinea impatiens in my garden in the front yard. You know, before we get in today's video, I wanted to thank wholeheartedly the sponsor of today's video. Life is pretty difficult. Sometimes it can take its toll on our mental health. Butterhelp.net is a resource for people just like me who need just a little extra pick-me-up. Butterhelp's AI-backed algorithm will pair you with the perfect butter. You know, I find myself underestimating the power of butter quite frequently. I like it in every single one of its forms. Salted, unsalted, churn style. After one spread, I'm almost 100% saturated. You know, I've even heard rumors of some state fairs that have fried butter. I want to go to there. You know, being a guy, sometimes it's hard to admit that you need help. That's something I've had to work on. And ButterHelp has helped me do that. You know, a man can't be an island. Sometimes we gotta reach out with our strong hands and ask for some help. Can you imagine a program that picks out the perfect butter? Glorious. ButterHelp has helped me understand that I am merely one man who enjoys delicious refreshment from a cold Mountain Dew and a heavy weight that comes along with being a man, having some pancakes with a little bit of butter and pumpkin spice, just a little sprinkle. Doesn't take much. And here's the thing, butter might not take the place of traditional therapy, but it's definitely a lot cheaper. For a long time, people would have to experiment with different types of butter to figure out the perfect butter, the butter that they like the most. Through some careful questioning and personality traits, ButterHelp will pair you with the perfect butter. No waiting rooms, no electrodes plugged up to your forehead to figure out what kind of butter you like. It just knows. So do yourself a favor, go to butterhelp.edu and find out how butter can help you. So I don't really have a plan per se when I go to the clearance rack and I see things that are a good deal. I have a general idea, awareness of how much room I have and places I need to work on. And this is one of the areas I have expanded the bed when I redid my irrigation and I converted over to the 1-inch pipe. I've got some space. I like very dense landscapes. I like landscapes that look very full. And as you can see, it is looking a lot fuller now that everything has started to wake up. My panicle hydrangeas have put on some size. Black-eyed Susans are starting to pop out of the ground. Some of those transplanted echinacea are doing real good. $70 worth of, which was 2 flats, I believe, of those Autumn Colors Rudbeckia haven't really shown up yet. I haven't really seen any value out of those yet, but they will as soon as I get some heat, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. So what I was planning on doing is taking the New Guinea impatiens and just putting them in little clumps of 3, more pronounced over here on this peninsula, and then just kind of spot in a group of 3 for some flavor throughout the bed, just for a little bit of cohesion. Unfortunately, there's not enough to really just load it up. Thank goodness there wasn't enough, because I spent $80 at Lowe's and I got a really good deal. It went from 100 to 80, but I can just imagine how much it would have cost me to do this whole thing in annuals. So annuals are, for me, are kind of like, it's kind of like having a steak at a restaurant, or let's say dessert at the restaurant. It's not something that happens very often because it's expensive. We're gonna get a kind of a mini garden tour as you see me kind of walking around, planting, take a look, give you a little bit of an update. We're gonna write some cool music and we're gonna have some fun. All right, let's get planting. So for this particular project, I am going to use the 5-inch heavy duty power planter auger. This is the one that's got the replaceable teeth, replaceable tip, higher gauge steel, and then the replaceable adapter. All right, I'm gonna plant the New Guinea impatiens with some biotone. Again, biotone on my leavings, right? The stuff that comes out of the hole, I'm gonna put some biotone in that. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit inside the hole because I'm using it as an inoculant, not as a fertilizer. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the Lesco Triple 14 that I kind of talk about, the slow release fertilizer, the 3-month slow release, and hopefully that will give these guys enough of a punch to do something cool. I might put some more on top just to make sure. I'm not going to use the 2-year fertilizer tablets because these are annuals. So even though I'm probably going to be planting other stuff on top of these corpses next spring, but I still don't just want that fertilizer just hanging out in the soil if it's not going to be utilized next year. So just don't want to waste the money. It's kind of a hit when you buy an entire box of these, and then when I run out, I give them away like Johnny Appleseed, and then when I run out, I'm like, oh, I got to pay another $130 for a box. So these are actually, the tabs I have now are not Agriform, they're Healthy Start, which were twice as expensive because they have beneficial bacteria in them. And that's just where I could get them. So I just bit the bullet. I knew we were going to be shooting content. I needed some slow release tablets, so those are the ones I bought. So I'm a little bit more protective of those, say, than my Agriforms, because they are twice as expensive. So, alrighty, let's get to it. I think for just this haphazard idea of just throwing these in here, I think this is going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be offensive. That could probably have done a little bit better, but we'll just do it. And they're annuals. It's not permanent. So, okay. I don't know. This handle went a little rogue on me, and it could have gotten me, but it ended up not. So could have gone a lot worse. It has for me in the past. This has got a clutch on it, but there needs to be resistance for that clutch to work. And keep in mind, I'm drilling where the old bed was. I'm drilling in ground that has just been lawn for Lord knows how long. So some of these holes are going to be a little harder than the ones that are in the flower beds.
William's garden is his delight. He tends his plants from morning to night. Play a tune about plants so bright, and watch him frown with all his might. His roses bloom, his tulips sway, but funny songs, they're not okay. He loves his soil, his careful way, but music like that, not today. Oh, William, William, grumpy and wise, with plants that reach up to the skies, but songs about gardens make him sigh. He shakes his head and rolls his eyes. Stuart Moore taught him all he knows, from planting seeds to how green grows. A mentor true through highs and lows, but songs on plants humbug he throws. Children laugh, they hum a tune. William's face becomes maroon. He hides his grin, it's coming soon, but he won't admit it under the noon. Oh, William, William, grumpy and wise, with plants that reach up to the skies, but songs about gardens make him sigh. He shakes his head and rolls his eyes. This ain't a song about leaves or roots, no vines creeping through my boots, not a whisper of green in this tune, no flowers blooming under the moon. Oh, no, no, this song's not about plants. seeds or weeds. This melody sprouting from different beats. Not a cactus or fern inside. This song's about soaring into the night. Oh, no, this song's not about plants. No roses, no daisies, no garden dance. Sometimes songs can grow from the ground, but this one ain't rooted, it's spinning around.
Oh, Stuart on the cam, lands on the ground. Landscape rescue, fixing earth all around. But the man got a curse, his guts a grenade. Blows wind so foul, even birds evade. Foghorn belly, skies turn gray. Foo-foos echo, nature runs away. Green thumbs work, but his gas won't quit. Rescuing the land while the air gets lit. Tilling the dirt, planting seeds of hope. But his trumpet plays, no one can cope. A flock takes flight, then drops mid-glide. The airy breeze turns the tides. Man of the earth, yet a storm in his core. A symphony of stench and odorous roar. Trying to save, but his gifts a plight. Gas clouds linger in the dead of night. On the screen, he's a hero of green, but off cam, his curse is obscene. Birds in the sky, they spiral and fall. His foo-foos, the silent wrecking ball. Foghorn belly, skies turn gray. Foo-foos echo, nature runs away. Green thumbs work, but his gas won't quit. Rescuing the land while the air gets lit.
It is a really nice day and I'm sweating. The older I get, I do not handle the heat and the sun very well. But anyway, I think it's just I've had heat exhaustion so many times in my life. Now I'm just a wreck when I get out in it. But it is what it is. I think the first time for sure I had heat exhaustion, not necessarily heat stroke, was when I was in the Mojave Desert doing training. I was carrying like 3 vipers on my back, running up and down these huge sand dunes. What a good time. That was a good time. Anyway, well now I get to do this and be equally as exhausted as a 19-and-a-half-year-old running up sand dunes. I feel like I'm just as worn out right now as I was back then in the desert, carrying anti-tank weapons. All right, guys, this is Landscape Rescue. I'm a very, very tired Stuart Moore. And thank you very much for letting me into your home to plant some plants.